We have a massive New York Yankees update regarding their infield as there's going to be a position change and also a shocking update about the New York Yankees free agency in their regards to Paul Goldschmidt. And we have seen Brian Cashman absolutely cook, and we're going to break it all down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Yankees Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. And if you guys like the content, make sure to subscribe. It helps us out a ton. 13% of viewers are subscribed right now. Let's get that 87 down and that 13 up. But let's jump into this and talk about baseball. The New York Yankees have had an eventful offseason, starting with losing Juan Soto to the New York Mets. Before the Yankees went out, signed Max Fried, traded for Devin Williams, almost called him Gavin Williams, traded for Cody Bellinger, signed Paul Goldschmidt amid some other smaller moves. And the New York Yankees have been able to reload to a certain degree and fill a lot of positions of need, instead of signing Soto, which would have led to them being very capped out and not being able to make a bunch of other changes with the team. And obviously signing Juan would have been the move, but we're so past that we're just going to push right through it. Look, the New York Yankees still have some infield questions to be answered, and whether that's going to be paying someone else to come to the team or potentially signing someone who's cheaper, or the Yankees just working internally to bring someone in and play third base for the New York Yankees, as we now know what's going down with second base. The Yankees have some decisions to be made. We'll also get into the Paul Goldschmidt thing in 1 minute, but just to cover real quick the Yankees infield now, Kirk did do a full video on this, so we're going to blow right through this very quickly. As mentioned by Jim Bowden, Aaron Boone is leaning towards moving Chisholm from third base to second base to replace Gleyber Torres, while giving Oswaldo Cabrera and DJ LeMahieu opportunities to compete for the third base role. Now, yes, Kirk already talked about this, so we're not really going to harp on it at all. Chisholm should totally move to second base. More important fielding position. Chisholm's an excellent fielder. It makes all the sense in the world to not have him play third base and have him play second base. It just works out way better for everyone involved. Yes, he'll probably play third base some games this season. He'll probably play in the outfield once or twice, depending on injuries. Chisholm's a versatile guy. He can basically play whatever position you need him to, and we'll see the Yankees move him around a bit, but he will mostly be at second base, the second most important infielding position in baseball. Now, I like that move. I think everyone understands it's the right move. Third base is a big question mark. The Yankees are not going to be paying Alex Bregman. As Kirk broke down in the video, the Yankees are basically working with no money at this point. They don't really want to pay anyone else any more money. So, we're not going to see a guy like Alex Bregman. We're not going to see a guy like Ha-Seong Kim. That's not going to happen. We'd see someone much smaller or already in the New York Yankees organization, such as DJ LeMahieu or Oswaldo Cabrera. Now, neither of those are too enticing of options, but all of this comes off the heels that, as Jack Curry revealed, there's been some rumors about Gleyber Torres, and Jack Curry does not expect Gleyber Torres to return to the New York Yankees after his career that's been very spotty with the Yankees. There's moments Gleyber looked like an all-star because he was a two-time all-star to start his MLB career, and then the Yankees moved him to shortstop, and he literally never recovered. Even when they put him back at second base, things just stopped being the same. Maybe the Yankees ruined Gleyber. Maybe Gleyber's kind of laissez-faire attitude ruined it. Maybe he's just an inconsistent player who started hot and teams figured him out. There's a million things to wonder about Gleyber Torres, as he was supposed to be one of the best players in baseball, and the New York Yankees unfortunately did not get that out of Gleyber, when all signs pointed to the fact that him and Miguel Andujar were going to be the future of the team. Who would have thought this is the way that things would end? Now, it is what it is. There's nothing to do about it now. Gleyber Torres, solid career numbers, but last year they've just dropped. Consistently they've been dropping. He used to be able to rip home runs. It took him forever to get a home run. Only finished with 15 this season, some of the lowest in his career. OPS was way below average. OPS plus was below average. On-base percentage was below his career average. Less stolen bases than usual. Less RBIs than usual. Less runs than usual. Less hits than usual. Gleyber Torres, just not the player that he was when his career began, and it's really unfortunate to see, but it's just the way that things go. Now, Chisholm's going to be the second baseman next season, and Chisholm's been nothing short of awesome for the New York Yankees. Now, last season, he put up above average numbers across the board. Bats lefty, very good athlete, can bat through anywhere throughout the lineup, and since coming to the New York Yankees, the man has just been motivated to play his best baseball. In the 46 games he played for the Yankees, not counting playoffs, he had 48 hits, 11 home runs, 23 RBIs, and 28 runs scored. The man's OPS was an 825, which is very good, and a slugging percentage at 500. The man has just figured it out in New York and now is going to be the second baseman for the New York Yankees for the foreseeable future, and we're all happy about that. That's good. We love Jazz Chisholm. He gives the energy the Yankees need. The Yankees turned it around very quickly once Chisholm came in. He gave them that spark of personality they need, and especially with Juan Soto being gone, the Yankees are going to need this to continue happening with Jazz Chisholm. And if there's one thing you could always trust about Jazz, he's going to go out there and he's going to give you that aura, and we're very happy about Jazz Chisholm. Now, Oswaldo Cabrera, below average season across the boards, could not hit a baseball whatsoever. Now, outside of that, he's a very, very talented fielder, so there's that. It's just he really kind of hit the ball. His WAR was 1.3. The only thing crazier than that is that Luis Arias has a lower WAR than Oswaldo Cabrera, despite the 30 and the 300 batting average, so there's that. Now, on top of that, DJ LeMahieu, clearly not the same player as he once was. Really forgot how to hit whatsoever. The batting average plummeted. The on-base percentage plummeted. DJ feels like he's probably washed up, or maybe he just needs a full season of baseball at third base, which could maybe help revive his MLB career for 1 or 2 more years. It's not like he's 98 years old. He's in his mid-30s. It's not a sign of good things to come, especially the negative 1.6 WAR is a real terrifying stat, but maybe somehow this could get him back to normal, playing on an everyday role, hopefully. It'd be nice if they could get that guy back, or just a shell of the guy that used to be, arguably the best player on the Yankees in 2019. It would be nice, I'm just saying. But look, obviously on top of that, we have more news that has to do with Paul Goldschmidt. Now, Paul Goldschmidt, he signed with the Yankees, as we all know, and John Heyman mentioned that at least 3 other teams were competing with the Yankees for Goldie's services, those being the Washington Nationals, the Cleveland Guardians, and the Arizona Diamondbacks, where Goldschmidt played 8 seasons for. Heyman also added that the veteran first baseman reportedly turned down offers that were bigger than what New York ultimately signed him for, which was a straight 1-year deal with no options for another season. Here's the thing, guys, and I think you could see just by the names of these teams, the Guardians obviously are not a terrible team, but the Diamondbacks did make the World Series not very long ago, but the Nationals, they're getting better. They're not going anywhere too fast, though. And it just feels like at this point, Paul Goldschmidt wants to win, as he should, and the New York Yankees give him the best chance to win. They give him an everyday role at first base. He gets to have that. He gets to have no one really competing for that, as Ben Rice was not really too exciting, and he's probably going to play backup catcher most of this season. On top of that, it just gives Goldie a chance to play for a contending team that could motivate him very highly into playing well for the New York Yankees. Now, he'll set in somewhere in the later middle part of the batting order, and he'll get a good chance to really show up and prove that he's not done yet. And this would not be the first time that an older former MVP goes to a new team, finds that spark because they're playing for a contender, and things start to work out for him. I'm not saying Paul Goldschmidt's going to be who he was when he was 35 years old and won that MVP and led the league in OPS. He's not going to do that. But he can be very valuable to the New York Yankees, and I fully expect to see him bounce back and be better than he has been these last 2 years on the Cardinals, especially better than last season. I just think that Goldie's a better player than that. I truly don't think he's just completely done yet. You guys can't see that. Here we go. Paul Goldschmidt last year, 1.3 WAR, nothing special, 22 home runs. All these numbers are down. OPS 716, not great. OPS plus below the 100 average. Slugging percentage isn't great. But look, Goldie does have a chance to turn around and get things back in focus for him for 1 more year with the New York Yankees while they try to win games. He wants to win a World Series before he goes. He has a lot of accolades. I mean, he's a 5-time Silver Slugger, a 4-time Gold Glover, a 7-time All-Star, and most importantly, a former American League MVP. Yeah, look, good player. I like a lot about Paul Goldschmidt's game. He's a great fielder even to this day. And you just see the way that Paul Goldschmidt played 2 years ago. You want that. You're not exactly going to get it, but you're going to get something solid out of Paul Goldschmidt. Look, I do think there's no reason to believe that he'd play much worse, that he's going to fall off more of a cliff than he's already fallen off. It doesn't make sense that he's just going to completely now forget how to play baseball after 2 seasons getting much, much worse than he was when he won MVP. I just don't see that being the case. I think what we're going to see, and I had to take a little pause because those numbers are, they're not pretty exactly, especially when I'm hyping him up saying, well, he could come back, he could be better. And you look and you just see what Paul Goldschmidt did last season after so long of being Paul Goldschmidt that you're really, really banking, if you're the New York Yankees, on Goldie returning to form. But I do genuinely think Goldie will play better. I think he'll be solid for the New York Yankees. I think he'll give them what they need out of him. Probably nothing more, but I don't think he'll do anything less. And I think he'll be excited to play for the Yankees the same way Jazz Chisholm was, and we saw him turn it around. And obviously Jazz is young, so there's a difference, but players get excited to play for a winning team in baseball. It's really hard to be motivated when you're playing on a losing team. Yeah, you don't want your numbers to suck, obviously, but when you're losing games, when you're not contending for a World Series, it obviously, baseball feels less important, and some guys can put that aside and some guys can't. And obviously, I think there was a time when Goldie definitely could, but when you're 37 and haven't won a World Series and you're playing meaningless games, you kind of start to wonder what the hell are you even doing there. So I think that'll motivate Goldie to give one final real good season where he's not an all-star, he's not an MVP, but he will be a very solid first baseman for the New York Yankees while they figure out a long-term plan for first base. I really hope they figure out a better third base plan than what we're looking at right now, but it seems like they don't want to pay anyone, especially you still have Stroman's contract that you're probably going to have to eat. You still have LeMahieu's contract that you're certainly going to have to eat. Hopefully they figure something out, man. Because, I'm not that motivated with this team right now. I'm not unmotivated at all. I think they're still very good. I'm just not feeling just a ton of motivation when it comes to this team's hitting ability. I hope they do one more move. I think that'll change a lot for them, though. Guys, let me know what you think down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Yankees.